That's not very good. They're going to come out and we'll hopefully get it fixed. Good morning everyone, how you doing? As you can see, it's a lovely calm day. So we're going to go back on the spreader today. Been 5 days since I've last on it, and we're going to variable rate some potash and phosphate onto the crops. There's not a lot of MOP to go on, but the bags I want are blocked in by the sprayer, so I'll either move my spreader out, move the sprayer over, and then we can get to it. So we've got the MOP loaded. I'm just going to change the headland setting and then we'll head off. So we've got going into the field, and then the weigh thing on the spreader went all funny, so I'm hoping I can just restart it and it'll be working fine. But I'm hoping it's on a bloody weigh cell that's knackered. I had one of those go last year and it wasn't silly expensive to fix, but it's just obviously when I'm trying to do variable rate I need it to be working accurate, and if the weigh cell's not going to be working I'll just have to spin this out and then just leave it. Moment of truth. See, that should be saying 1800 kilos and it's not. I think we're just going to have to try and run this out and see what happens. Right, I've got this spreader completely empty and it's gone to minus 320. So I'll zero this. We'll stand still and do it. I'm going to zero the scales on this. That and then that. Yes. Yeah, I think we're going to weigh scale a weigh sensor thing out, because now it's gone to minus 1000. That's not very good. So I rang the dealer and they're going to send someone out. We're back at it now. Seems to be working alright. I've done 2 fields now, it seems to be fine, but it wasn't the weigh cell. It was acting as if it was a weigh cell not working properly, because it was fluctuating the weight a bit and then it wasn't zeroing, so when you were trying to zero the weight it was a bit rough there. When you were trying to zero it, it was like, instead of going back to 0, it was going up to like minus 999. So had a look at the connections and the voltages on them and they're all reading okay. So he then went to have a go at like unplugging each weigh cell and seeing if it would like reset itself, and we just unplugged load cell 2, which seemed to be the one that was slightly different, and plugged it back in, and then it's been working fine. So you unplugged it, plugged it back in, and I zeroed it, and it went back to 0 and wasn't fluctuating. So then we put a bag in, tried it out in a field, and it ran out fine. And you know, when the hopper was about empty, it was only about 10 kilos. So just had to see what happens.
Find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. could have moved away, but now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening?
So we are currently variable rate applying MOP on this field, and we're doing the few other fields. Not all the fields need MOP, which is potash. So we get the fields scanned with Hutchinson's Omnia system, and we've been using that since 2019, and we've got the variable rate spreader in 2020, and since, so it's at 25 now, so we've been using it, it'll be like the 5th year we've been using the variable rate fertilizer, and we've had the fields tested after 4 years just to see, like, well, it was really for organic matter, but because we didn't get organic matter done the first time, so we've had the field scanned again, and since we've gone onto the variable rate fertilizer, our indexes were quite high for potash, like the K index was high, and the phosphate indexes have been fairly low. So the last sort of 4 or 5 years we've just been putting like a maintenance amount of potash on, and then really putting a lot of phosphate on, because a lot of the fields have been low in it. And we can see the difference on, since we've scanned the fields again, we can see how the phosphate indexes have now been brought up to where they should really be, and we've been able to hold the potash indexes where they wanted, like where they were was about right. So it is working, and because we've been able to do that, it means that we're now putting reduced amounts of phosphate on. So the red bits are where it wants more potash, the yellow and light blue are where it's like at, like, you know, middle range, and blue is where we're putting a small amount on, and then all the black bits in the field are actually areas where it doesn't need any, or what it reckons it doesn't need any, so it's actually not putting anything on that. This is the only field where it's actually got 0 like bits in the field where it doesn't want any. Hopefully the spreader doesn't need a new weigh cell, because when we played around with the wires and found that one that was slightly loose and put it back in and it started working, we didn't know if that had just reset itself for a brief moment and then if it was going to go to pot again. But it seems, fingers crossed, I've done probably 200 acres with it since we've fixed it, and it seems to be working alright still. Could do with not having an expensive bill for it. I was worried I'd have to buy a new weigh cell. Spreading fertilizer on this field might look like a waste of time, and to be honest it feels like a waste of time and money, but I'm just putting TSP on the phosphate because we're going to be drilling spring barley. I mean, the wheat wanted it anyway, but I'll be putting spring barley in here anyway, and it's going to want it. I'll make that do for this video. I'm just going to spin the rest of this out. If I can speak. I'm going to spin the rest of this out, and then I'm going to take it down to the other farm, get it washed off and put away, because it's going to be a bit wet tomorrow, I think. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.